you're going to give her an opportunity to stop doing the nonsense. But if she can't stop doing the nonsense, then she has to go now, doesn't she? So you find yourself in a position of rejecting a lot of women. You're going to be rejecting a lot of women more than you accept, believe it or not. And one thing you realize is that the women that you do allow in your space, more often than not, they're going to do something to sabotage the relationship, because they just, for whatever reason, they cannot coexist in your presence. They see you doing the work. She's not going to be able to coexist with you, unfortunately or fortunately speaking. And it's something that you're just going to have to be aware of as an attractive man. So just be prepared for that, man. You're going to be spending a lot of time on your own. You're going to be spending a whole bunch of time in solitude, and you have to be okay with that. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. Feel free to stick around. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the experience of an attractive man in the dating market. This is a very nuanced topic because a lot of people don't really discuss this, right? On the surface level, it's like, oh, if you're an attractive man, you shouldn't have any problem in the dating market, right? You know, you shouldn't be experiencing any issues. You shouldn't be going through any difficulties. You're attractive after all, you know. All the ladies want you, right? Well, on the contrary, a lot of attractive men will vouch for this. It's not always what it seems to be for an attractive man in the dating market, you know. And I'll tell you why. I'll break it down. In this video, you're going to have a lot more clarity on the topic, as well as a lot more encouragement for you to be an attractive man in the dating market, regardless of the difficulties that may or may not come your way. It's in your best interest to be as attractive as you possibly can be as a man in the dating market, most definitely. Now, let's get into it. See, when you're an attractive man in the dating market, women automatically assume you to be a player. They automatically assume that you're a womanizer, you're a Casanova, you're a player, you know? And most of the time, as attractive men, we're actually not players at all. At the same time, no one's gonna believe you. No one's gonna believe that you're not a player, man. I've had so many experiences in my life where the chicks that come around my vicinity, you know, they just operate in a certain type of mindset that there's nothing I can tell them to convince them that I'm in fact not a player. And really and truly, I've never been a player in my life, man. It's just not really my style. But when women come into my vicinity, it's almost as if I'm lying to them. It's almost as if, yeah, you know, of course you would say you're not a player because that's what a player would say. So women will automatically assume that you have a lot of options. They will automatically assume you to be a player, a womanizer, and there's nothing you could tell them to convince them otherwise, because you just look too good. You're too attractive as a man. So there's no way in their mind that you don't have a bunch of women at your disposal. As an attractive man, you don't entertain everybody. You don't entertain every woman that comes into your vicinity. You have a certain standard about yourself, you know. Yes, on one hand, you attract a lot of women, but on the other hand, you turn down a lot of women, and no one seems to understand that part. They don't even consider that part. That's just the life of an attractive man. There's only going to be a very few amount of people that understand your journey in life, especially in the dating market as an attractive man, and it just is what it is. Another part of the experience of being an attractive man is when you start dealing with women, when you decide to entertain a woman or women in your life, whatever the case may be, you find yourself triggering their insecurities, even though you don't mean to. Just your mere existence triggers their insecurities. And most women, if not all women, deal with insecurities to varying degrees, some more than others, but majority, if not all of them, deal with insecurities in one way or another. What you find out as an attractive man when you're doing the work, when you're taking care of yourself, you know, you look good, you feel good, you're on your purpose, man. You become very attractive to the eyes of women. You'll come to realize that when you do decide to entertain a woman in your life, she's going to start playing games with you. And these games are going to be very annoying. And I've come to realize based on experience that these games are designed to throw you off. They're designed to weaken your confidence. Because as an attractive man, you reach very high levels of confidence within yourself. You know, you become very competent in your abilities because you are actually putting in the work. When you're training consistently, your body changes into a very attractive body. When you're eating right, when you have your diet in order, when you think good thoughts, when you meditate constantly, when you retain your life force energy, your face becomes more attractive. Your face begins to glow. You just get very attractive overall. And you realize that most women that come into your vicinity, they are very triggered by your existence, man. They are very triggered because you are an objectively attractive man. So it puts them in a weird position to where they can't really be at peace coexisting with you, because anytime you go outside, you get a bunch of choosing signals from a bunch of different women. You know, you get favored by society. Of course, you have the people that treat you like crap just because you're attractive. That's on one hand for sure, but majority of your experiences are going to be favorable. You know, she's not going to be okay with that because she wants the attention to herself. It's going to piss her off in a way because she's going to notice that you're not even trying. You don't even want the attention. You're just getting it automatically based on your existence. And that's going to be very triggering to a lot of women. It takes a very mature woman to be okay with that. But for the most part, they're going to play a bunch of games on you. They're going to do a bunch of things that'll just trigger you, try to get you pissed off. But as an attractive man, you got to be aware of this so you can be emotionally balanced. You can be emotionally at ease and not be triggered by anything. You'll be completely detached and not emotionally vulnerable. You understand what I'm saying? And to wrap this up, as an attractive man in the dating market, you're gonna find yourself being single for a very long time, man. For the most part, you're gonna be entertaining women here and there, but for the most part, you're gonna be single, man, because there's just gonna be too many games being played on you or being attempted to be played on you. You know, a lot of women are just gonna take it upon themselves to throw you off, to make you feel insecure. It's just a bunch of projection. She feels insecure, so she wants to make you feel what she feels, which is insecure. For the most part, you're just gonna be very calm, especially when you're aware of the mental games, the mental manipulation that a lot of women play, unfortunately. You're gonna get to a point where you just remain calm. You're gonna give her an opportunity to stop doing the nonsense, but if she can't stop doing the nonsense, then she has to go now, doesn't she? So you find yourself in a position of rejecting a lot of women. You're going to be rejecting a lot of women more than you accept, believe it or not. And one thing you realize is that the women that you do allow in your space, more often than not, they're going to do something to sabotage the relationship because they just, for whatever reason, they cannot coexist in your presence. They see you doing the work. She's not going to be able to coexist with you, unfortunately or fortunately speaking. And it's something that you're just going to have to be aware of as an attractive man. So just be prepared for that, man. You're going to be spending a lot of time on your own. You're going to be spending a whole bunch of time in solitude, and you have to be okay with that. You got to be very picky the people you allow in your life, both men and women, both friendships and romance. You got to realize that you are a rare specimen in society, man. When you get to a point where you are an attractive man in society and you have the game and you have the mental fortitude and you have the emotional balance, you become an elite member of society. You damn near become a target, and you got to be aware of that. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's just something to be aware of. So you move tactically within society. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you know I help men become the best that they can be. I train men to find their purpose in life and become purpose-driven men, which will make you extremely attractive in society and the dating game at large. So if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, you can get in contact with me for a consultation call and we could go from there. Link in the description. And with that being said, gentlemen, until next time, cheers.